In this episode of the Let's Assess podcast, we will be diving in to $20 upgrades that you can make to your snowmobile for this upcoming season. Let's jump right into it.
I don't want to talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping home.
All right, guys, welcome back to yet another episode of the Let's Assess podcast. Today, me and Adge are back in the shop. We are bringing another mod upgrade video for you guys. It's that time of year. We're needing snow, so we're not really talking about riding stuff yet. It's more mod stuff because we're still in that stage. Before I forget, this podcast will be on your favorite podcast streaming platform. Like, share, subscribe, and links to book with Powderbound Adventures and Blackbird merch will be in the description below. Before I forget, we are also answering your guys' questions that you submitted on Instagram, so stick around for that. But let's dive into $20 mods.
Sounds good. I'm going to plug one more thing real quick.
Okay.
We just changed one of our clinics for the middle of February. We forgot that we were overlapping on top of Valentine's Day. So we wanted to bring together something with our partner Savage Sledders and Aaliyah Hawken, and we're going to do kind of a together clinic. So maybe your wife, girlfriend is into sledding, and she's going to do women's clinic. We're going to do a men's clinic, and we have sled rentals if you guys are just looking to get into it and try it. We got the house, all the meals, everything for that whole setup. So it'll be kind of a getaway and then a potential, clinic or ride or whatever for you and your significant other. So.
Yeah, and even if she doesn't like snowmobiling, it's a great gift that benefits you.
Absolutely. Bring her with, throw her on a sled, and Leah will take her out for a great time, and you will be on the other side of the mountain. If you want to go to lunch, we can.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty funny. Okay, so the $20 snowmobile mods / upgrades, we're going to dive right into it. AJ's going to kind of list them off, then we'll go back and forth on them. A lot of these are adjustments that we think are severely important
crucial for sure,
whether you have a new sled, whether you have you bought a used sled, or whether you've had a sled a couple years and you just haven't set all this stuff up right. We're going to talk about our opinions on that. So
all right, let's jump right into that. Okay. So some of these things we went over before in other podcasts, but hopefully we got a few other new things in here. And first up, a rubber band on your kill switch. Yep. I don't know how many times I've personally been there and I've seen people, you're pulling a line, you're doing something, you accidentally hit a kill switch or you run into a tree branch, it hits your kill switch. Next thing you know, you're scorpion up on your bars or you're going for a swim in the snow. Or you're getting stuck because you're pulling a line on a hill. So I've used the race rubber bands you can get online, super cheap. You can order a couple, whatever. Or if you like asparagus, go buy a little, I don't know what you would call it, but a little bundle of asparagus. And they have these thick, big rubber bands on them. And you can just wrap that sucker around there a couple times.
So you wrap it, the idea is you wrap it around the base of your kill switch. So then it can't click off. You have to hold it down because there's tension from the rubber band that's pushing up on the kill switch. So you have to hold it down to be able to kill the engine. And there's a lot of different companies that make different kill switches. RSI makes one that you have to hold. But if you're not looking to go that expensive, you can just do what AJ's talking about.
Absolutely, yeah. And there's other options out there more expensive to, put an actual kill switch on there. And they work great too. I've ran those as well. But yeah, this is kind of your cheap option. I also know some people around here locally that are like sheep farmers and they dock sheep and you can get like the nut band.
The nut band.
Those work pretty good too. They're good, thick rubber bands. Anything good, thick, and rubber.
Yeah.
So, next thing, grips. OEMs, they come with grips on them. They're decent. They're decent. But I would say you can upgrade just your grips and have a better feel, more grippy, just a really good thing for $20. I know you can get the RSI gummy grips. They're thin, they're full length for I think it's like $19.95. So literally $20. Great improvement for me, I think. I mean,
the only problem with the gummier you go, they don't last as long.
Correct.
So the shorter the life of the grip is, the softer compound you go.
Absolutely.
If you're going to take speaking from the Polaris side, a Polaris into war and you had no grips and you didn't want to do anything, just leave the stock grips on it. They are very, very hard.
Oh, super durable.
Yeah.
Same with the OEM Skidoo ones. It seems like only if you break the end off of the Skidoo ones that they fall off bad.
Yeah.
But like, same thing. They're such a hard rubber that like you can't like injure it. Like it's impossible.
But it comes with a sacrifice of not having as much grip.
If you don't like, I don't like running grip heaters when I'm in like deep snow, because then my gloves get wet and then my hands get cold. So no grip heaters, and then that rubber will ice up, and because you have a friction point there, so then you get ice on that already slick grip, and no bueno for me.
Yeah, no bueno taco.
So yeah, good gummy grip. You can get them cheap, or even other grips, different styles, and I think that's a really good cheap thing that'll improve your experience.
Yep.
Okay, next one. This one is practically free. You're going to need a zip tie maybe, or you can come up with your own system with a bolt. But back to switches. You have a couple switches on your handlebar, relocate them, your kill switch, your reverse button, put them down at the riser. You can just zip tie them to each other, like through the block itself, the riser block, or you can do a bolt through the riser block with washers and then actually mount it onto that bolt. I've seen it a couple different ways. You can, do some searches online, or there's kits out there to do like switch relocates. I'm cheap and I don't like doing that, so I always find another way. You can use baling wire, zip tie, whatever, but you just relocate those down under the bar to where they're out of sight, out of mind, and can't really bump them.
Yeah.
So, okay, next one. We got a lot to talk about on this one.
Yeah.
Adjust your shocks.
Yes.
And some of you might say, oh, I have a Summit X, or oh, I have a Pro. My shocks aren't adjustable. You have springs. The springs on your shocks are adjustable.
Yeah.
We're going to dive into a little bit of that. We still need to do a podcast on shock setup completely. So that'll probably be one that we'll work on that here in the near future. We need to do that one. So we'll dive more in depth in that podcast. But for a quick breakdown of shocks right now, when you're riding, like if you're riding a day, take the stuff with you to adjust them. And the best advice I can give you is adjust it all the way soft, adjust it all the way hard, and only do one like at a time. So do your front two, or do your center track shock, or do your back track shock, but do one adjustment at a time. Go ride it, go super soft, go super stiff. Be like, what do I like better? Okay, I seem to like this a little stiffer. It seems like I know what the Sleds do. It's more predictable. Okay, now that I know that, that's the direction I want to go. So let's make this whole chassis a little stiffer and try that. So it's something to play around with. Don't be afraid to play around with it. Snow types is going to dictate this immensely. So when we dive into that deeply on a podcast, I'll break down how different snow types affect it, what you want in those different snow types, etc. But for a quick kind of little bit of knowledge, if the snow is blow or powder, you can pretty much get away with about anything. If the snow is more stiff, it depends upon what you're looking for. But generally, it's hard to get the chassis to do what you want it to do. So a little bit softer for more roll. It'll be more pliable, take a little more of the, the stiffness out of the snow for you. So generally softer on a stiffer snowpack. Yeah. But you can go too soft. So that's where you got to find out what works for your weight and balance.
The thing that I'll say is I like to think of it this way. I don't know if this makes sense to you, Edge. The softer you go, and we're not talking jumping or anything like that.
This is just riding.
Riding in general. The stiffer you go, the more it's going to slow down the chassis.
Yep.
The softer you go, the more it's going to speed it up. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. Yep.
So it's like if you're on a turn going, say you're going to side hill left, the softer your front track shock is, the faster it's going to roll onto the side.
Yep.
So that's why a lot of guys in hard snow will soften their suspension up. And then in stiff snow, or in soft snow, they'll stiffen it. And in hard snow, they'll soften it. And what they're trying to do, in a different way to look at it, basically, is make that chassis do what they want with adjustments to their suspension based on the snow that they're riding.
Yep.
Jumping, that's completely different, but I'm just talking riding.
Just riding, yeah. And that's generally, I mean, my rule of thumb is I want it like pretty much as stiff as I possibly can for the snow that I'm riding. Yeah. I tend to ride fairly stiff just because of the way I ride. But I like if the more stiff that your suspension is, the more predictable that your chassis is. Because just like what you're saying, since your chassis, if you soften it, that chassis gets fast, it's a little more unpredictable that way because little movement of your body on the sled, it is a little more squirrely that way.
Yeah, so. I think that I do like firm in comparison to other people. I like, I have to be more firm with the camera box and all the stuff. But even in relation to myself, if you take all that out of it, do I like a soft feel or a stiffer feel? I like the stiffer feel.
Yep.
Because I want that chassis, and it's dependent on snow condition, but most of the time with the snow we ride, I want that chassis to slow down, if that makes sense. I don't mean going fast. I mean side to side. I don't want it squirrely. I want it planted and predictable and somewhat, if it makes sense in this situation, slower moving. Yep. And that's what I think, like,
your rider input doesn't have to be as fast with it because the chassis slowed
like down. Dude, for example, okay, when I got those Fox shocks, the Fox is very, very, very easy to feel exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah. If you have QS3s, you can literally go soft, hard, and you're going to know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, like if you have them, or if you have a buddy that has them, one day just get on that sled and put your left one on soft and your right one on stiff.
Yeah.
And you'll feel exactly what we're saying. In that example, left is soft, right is stiff. When you turn left, you're going to roll way fast.
Yep.
And you're probably going to end up in the snow.
Yep.
You're going to override it, so to speak.
Yep.
It's kind of like jumping on an alpha.
Exactly. Yeah, it literally is.
It goes and it just keeps going down.
It doesn't ever have that resistance against you. It never builds a resistance.
So it just kind of falls,
Yep.
which is great on harder snow when you're, in technical terrain.
You're fighting it.
Right. And then if you were to side hill right in that example, you'd feel, if you will, support under that ski that's not letting you just flop over.
Yep.
You feel something pushing back.
Yep.
And I like that feel.
Yeah. Yep. For sure. And same with, this goes for the experts on the Skidoos. They have a QS3 style now. And then for the Chaos guys that have Chaos shocks, and some of the pros, because we've got a pro with adjuster that's just high speed. But the Chaoses have slow speed and high speed. And that's count the clicks where it's at if you have that clicker style, so you know what your base is. Write it down so you can go back to it. Guarantee you will not remember. It's too much. I've tried. So write it down. You can always go back to that, and then also start in the middle, right? Once you start tuning it to what you like, okay, soft, hard, go straight to the middle, and then start critiquing it from there, And 1, 2, 3 clicks at a time is going to make a big difference. Not a little difference.
No, we're talking about last week in the Polaris mod video. AJ was saying how long it took me to get my Fox shocks where I wanted them. The thing is you have to set all this stuff up for your personal preference.
Yeah.
I went with, like we talked about in that podcast, with Barant's things.
Yeah, his air setup. Because that is the whole element with the Fox air shocks is you now have an air pressure that you have to set. So.
Right. And so I set him to there, and then I went a little stiffer and a little stiffer, and I'm just like, dude.
This ain't doing it.
but there it was. The problem is it wasn't stiff enough.
Yeah. Yep.
The chassis was too fast, and I was still bottoming. Well, not bottoming, but there wasn't enough resistance in the back. But that's the thing that I will say that I like about something like QS Series, or if your Summit has the clickers.
Yep.
You're way more apt to fine tune on the fly.
Yep.
And that can really help. Now with Fox, where you have IQS or QSE or whatever that is, you're able to do it while you're on the bar. So you want to pull a wheelie, you're going to lock your rear track shock out. You can do it on, a pop of a button. But with most people that don't have that on their sled, that's, I think, the biggest advantage is I will actually mess with that on my Fox. Like with my Olins,
you won't touch them.
Will not touch them because exactly what you're saying. I can't remember the clicks, and it's not a flip. Yeah. It's like, I got to do this and count
and
this.
You got to count them, and there's snow in the way. And was that a click or was that ice breaking away? What was it? Yeah. Yep.
So,
and I know there will be some people that are like, oh, don't adjust with the spring because it gets too springy and stuff like that. These mountain sleds have such soft springs on them that it kind of gives it. Yes, it will be more springy because obviously you're adjusting the spring. But when that's your only thing that is adjustable, it can help you. You can set the sled to your liking then that way. So yes, use every bit of adjustment that you have. Don't think, oh, I have spring shocks, these things suck, so on and so forth. You can adjust them and make it better for yourself.
Yeah, and I mean, that's why, this is to me, it takes a while. And you have to, not Caleb Kosturki's measurement on Olins or Barant's on Fox. Those are great baselines. But you have to set it for your snow, your weight, your tunnel bag setup,
your riding style,
all those things. So it takes a while, but trust me, it is worth it because I'll tell you what, if you put me on, you guys know I don't like the Skidoo chassis that much. I'm uncomfortable on it. Well, if you put me on Fox Airs and bled the air out of them and put them to soft, I would be way more of a mess than I am on a Skidoo.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, for sure. It's too,
the chassis gets unpredictable. Yeah. And then that's the problem when you go from Polaris to Skidoos, it's unpredictable or, vice versa.
And that's why Brant talks about, cheater mods. It really is a cheater mod because you can make your sled. It's not, you can counter the negatives of the snow conditions that day. Yes. In my opinion.
Yep.
To a certain extent. Obviously, you can't make rock hard snow feel like blow or pow, but
you can make it better than what it is. Yeah.
Yep.
On that, I'm just going to dive in a little bit. We kind of covered front shocks pretty good. In the skid frame, okay, I want to rip wheelies, I want to do bow ties, re-entries, whatever. We want this thing to wheelie more, right? You want to soften that rear shock up, stiffen that front shock up in your track, and that's going to let it want to wheelie a little bit more. Now, if you want it to be more, hey, I don't really want to wheelie. I just want to get in the trees and get shit done and go to the top of the mountain. That's where you're talking about that lockout. Lock out that rear shock.
Or if you don't have lockout, stiffen it.
Stiffen it, and then soften that front shock up to where it wants to climb up on the snow. So you let it collapse, climbs up on the snow and goes, and then you got that stiff rear shock to keep you from wheeling. So it just puts that power to the snow better.
Yep.
So that right there will help you with either one of those that you're wanting to. Once again, we'll dive more into that in that next podcast. But yeah, that's a little bit of a background on the rear suspension and how it works for those two things that you're looking to get done.
Yeah, and I mean, there again, it's so different on, for example, a turbo sled is different than an NA.
Oh, absolutely.
In NA, I would really want that setup to wheelie more.
Yep. Oh, yeah. You want that playfulness.
The playfulness. On a turbo, that can be a huge downfall.
It plays enough.
It plays enough already. And then, it's dependent on your track and if you're running a tune and all these things. Like on my 46 that's intercooled, we had Fox. You remember that? We had Fox on that originally because my owns weren't in. We locked that sucker out.
Did nothing.
Did absolutely nothing on this snowmobile.
Yeah, it just wanted to party.
It just wanted to come in a flat meadow, still wanted to come over.
Yep. Yeah. That thing, I mean, stiffening that chassis up, it just made it even more of a bucking bull. It felt like.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's sled dependent, and that's all I'll say.
Yep. Okay, let's jump into the next thing. This one, I've seen this countless times. We dove into it on the last two podcasts for sled setup specifically, but these guys will put big risers on, or they'll put lower risers on, but they make the mistake of not putting them in line with their steering post. The Polaris is a vertical post. The Skidoo is a lay down post, or the BRP, I should say. Arctic is a straight up post as well, vertical. So what you want to do is look at your OEM post, and then you want to line your riser perfectly with it. So the Skidoo is going to be angling back. This Polaris is going to be straight up and down. If you have that twisting, then it adds another, I'm going to break into geometry here. It adds another angle to the way the handlebars give feedback back to your body. If it's feeding straight to the handlebars, you lose that feedback through that geometry change. So you want that riser block perfectly in line with the post, and then adjust the roll of your handlebars to the liking of how you want your handlebars. That and
rolling meaning in the clamps.
In the clamps themselves. So the top of your riser. So that changes if your bars, if you twist them up, it's going to raise them and give you that more up, like shoulders back feel. Or if you kind of like that more slumped down low feel, then you roll those things down a little bit. That's how you alter that. You don't change it with, oh, I want this thing to stand up more vertical, so I'm going to lift my riser up. If you do this, like, you will be amazed. This is probably one of the like biggest things I've seen and helped people with is getting the riser in line, and then they're like, well, this is a whole new snowmobile. Like, this thing handles completely different, especially in hard snow.
Yeah.
Huge.
Well, yeah, I mean, think about it. If the angle from the post is, if you're on YouTube, you can see this. If the post is like this, right, and your riser is not at that same angle, then you're twisting this.
Yes.
Trying to twist something that's laid like this.
Correct. Yeah. So it's this weird, like,
yeah,
weird thing. And it
Not
creates a bind. It's a mega bind. So that's a huge one right there, guys.
Yeah.
Huge one. Okay. This next one, we're all guilty of this, especially me and you sitting here. Clean your clutches.
Okay.
Like, we will spend all this money on carbon fiber. We'll spend all this money on a clutch kit. Everything. We'll spend money on everything. We'll put a stage 2 in a sled, put a tune in it, and then we won't clean our clutches. If you clean that belt dust out, I like to blow it out with a compressor, get the fine dust out of everything, and then use a good degreaser or, a brush or some soap, whatever you kind of have and like, to clean as much of it as possible. If you can't take your clutch off of your snowmobile, you don't have the means to do that, that's a great option. Anything is better than nothing.
Yeah.
What happens is that belt dust is a grit. You put that in all the things that are moving in a clutch, and it binds it up. Does it still work? Absolutely. But if you get rid of that tension that's binding in that clutch, all that power from your engine is actually going to transfer to your belt. So I would say this is one of the big things is clean your clutches, and it doesn't hurt to inspect your belt while you're there. You can kind of scuff your clutches with a green Scotch-Brite pad. That'll gain some traction on your belt. Don't recommend doing this all the time. We used to do this every race for snowcross, and by the end of a season, you would see like waves in your clutch sheaths because you'd ground that much off by doing that. But if you have belt residue, a good thick layer of belt residue on your clutch, it's good to take that Scotch-Brite, clean that off. Generally, like Polarises and Arctics, where they have the roller bearing in the primary clutch, that belt sits there and it spins. The clutch spins around it, so it'll put a little thick layer of rubber right there at the bottom. So right at engagement, a little bit of rubber down there, clean it off. It's going to help just everything. Acetone is a big one, or a brake clean, something like that, to just clean the sheaths of the clutch. That's a good cleaner for them. You don't want to get that on your belt, obviously, or you don't want to, get it places you don't necessarily want it. So you just dab it on a rag, wipe the sheaths. Cleans all the contaminants, oil, stuff like that. Skidoo and Polaris have the oil tank directly above your clutches. So yes, some contamination from your oils ends up on them. Just clean them. It'll help reduce slipping and all that.
Brad had that problem.
Yeah.
He had a oil cap that was leaking.
Gotcha.
He'd be pinned and then over rev.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't
catching.
The belt was slipping. Yeah.
So that right there, guys, clean your clutches. It's kind of a maintenance item, but definitely one that I would say is kind of a mod that like a lot of people don't do it, and you'll probably gain some HP out of it for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't wash them with water and then go ride it like immediately. Let it dry good so that water comes out from underneath your hood so you don't just spin that belt.
Yeah.
This next one, this is something I do on all my sleds. I drill holes in the upper hood storage, and little holes, not huge holes or anything like that, just to allow that under hood heat come up into that storage. It'll defog your goggles for you. It'll dry your goggles for you. It'll keep a pair of gloves warm for you. I don't like riding with my phone up there, but it doesn't hurt your battery on your phone then.
Yeah.
Or GoPro batteries. I keep my GoPro batteries up there because it keeps them warm that way. But yeah, you just drill a few holes in it to let that under hood heat actually come up and through that storage compartment. The Polaris is, especially with the stock hoods, amazing there. I've done it with the Skidoos as well, and you definitely get a better result there.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, this next one, we're big on looks. We like the looks of our sleds.
Yeah.
And there's nothing worse than having little chips in places on the paint and stuff like
Normally the running boards.
the running boards, your rails, your A-arms if you pull it on an open play snowmobile trailer.
Yeah.
Etc.
Sandblasted.
Yeah, sandblast that sucker off.
Yeah.
Even your bumper, maybe. You can go get an automotive paint pen in the color of your sled. You can get really, really close. Generally, like black is the one that I've noticed, like you see the chips really bad. Yeah. So I've even used Sharpie, but you can get an automotive paint pen really cheap, black, silver, white, whatever color your stuff is. And you just fill in those chips.
You know what I used to use?
What?
This is when we were pulling on an open place. Rubber in a can.
Oh yeah.
You know that
like plastic size? Yeah, plastic dip, yeah.
Yeah, they make it in a can.
Okay.
So like it'd be all, my black stuff.
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
freaking spray that on there after a ride and work
That's
perfect.
funny. Yeah. And it's mainly for when you're sitting in the garage and looking at it and stuff like that.
Drinking beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does. It pisses me off when you're looking at a sled in the shop and you're like, there is chip marks everywhere. So that just a nice little thing. Touch it up. Also, like when you're going to resell it or anything like that, it looks like it's been taken care of and cared for. So it doesn't look like it's just been hammered.
Yeah.
Okay. This next one is big for you Artie Cat guys and Polaris guys. And I got to give a shout out to one of our listeners. He brought this to my attention last year. You can put a magnet down by your Quickdrive belt, and whether you want to glue it there or bolt it to it, but put, a little magnet down there by your Quickdrive belt. Exhaust springs break, bolts fall out, nuts fall off. And if you don't catch it before it falls in there, which it falls off when you're riding and you usually don't check your Quickdrive belt all the time.
Yeah.
It gets under it and it'll roast your Quickdrive belt or break it and ruin your day. So definitely, what an awesome thing. Throw a magnet down there by that sucker.
And that little
not
cutout.
In the cup, but just before, like picture if something broke off and then it's like rattling back to the Quickdrive belt, that's where I'd place it. Somewhere right there. It's going to be hopping around and moving. So, you might even put a couple down there, but definitely one of those things could be a significant saver for you for a bad day is throw a magnet down there. You might not catch everything, but hey, you did the best you could there and gave it your honest effort. These next ones, these are kind of maintenance items, but they're kind of like the cleaning the clutches. They do help. And especially for you guys coming from the Midwest on big trips, I think these are awesome things to do and check. First one, track tension. You want that thing not like a banjo. You don't want it super tight, but just loose enough to where it's not ratcheting and you're not losing horsepower through that track being so tight.
Yeah.
So check it. Another thing, check and make sure it's running straight. It's not in a bind going sideways, so it's tracking straight.
Sorry, Skeet.
Yeah, we have a few problems there, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So check that. Check your track tension, make sure it's proper. That is going to, help you with some power and everything like that if it's in the proper spot.
And
also,
not ratchet when you're pinned.
Yeah, and save you from blowing your drivers off or anything like that. Or even just making you not be able to pull a line because you're all the time.
Yeah.
Another one, this is kind of a maintenance thing. If you bought a new snowmobile, you don't necessarily need to do this, but if you've got a sled that's older or, you've had a sled around, grease the skid frame. We just went over suspension there for a while, and it's a movement point. It's a pivot point, and that has to move, and it's in water all the time. And with that friction, it melts the snow, and there's literally water and all that stuff. I like to grease my skids 2 times a year at least, because you keep that water out of all those bushings, keep it free and moving.
I probably need to do that.
Yeah, it's a good thing to do. And, it's just one of those things. All these skid frames have grease zerks. Super easy to do with a small grease gun. Grease them and off you go. Keeps things from being in tension and in bind and lets the chassis work better. If you're a Skidoo guy, check the chain tension. If it's too tight, if it's banjo tight, you're robbing power there. You need to have it in the right adjustment. And that's going to obviously save your chain life and your chain case life if it's too loose.
Yeah.
And just give you, if it's in the right adjustment, you're putting all that power to the ground. You're not losing it in any friction.
Right.
Last one, and I'm guilty of this. I got a story from last year going to Alpine, Wyoming. Had a long year. You plan this trip, you spend all the money to go, and I'll just throw the sled in the trailer. I've rode it all winter. It's good to go.
It's fine. It's a Skidoo.
It's a Skidoo. She's good. You don't need anything. And your rear axle bolt will be loose. And next thing you know, your wheels pop sideways. You lose tension of your track, and your drivers just go in a hop over, and you go ejecto.
Ejecto.
So moral of the story, check your bolts. It might not be your rear wheel bolt. It might be your front suspension bolt. It might be your front bumper bolts or your A-arm bolts. Check the tension of the nut and the bolt and make sure that everything's tight, especially if you have a trip planned. Don't let it be ruined over a loose bolt or nut. Just give it a once over. Now, I'm not saying go just crank everything and break bolts off, or you don't need to go put.
Did you just look at me after you said that?
Yeah, I did. It's Mr. Red and Green Loctite over here.
Yeah.
It just needs to be snug, tight. There's lock nuts on everything, so just tight is good. Definitely a huge one though to make your trip a lot better is just make sure everything's tightened up and good to go.
Ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That concludes my list of $20 snowmobile upgrades mods.
You did great, because I'm not a big maintenance guy. So there's some maintenance, some modification, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. You better get all that set up.
Yeah. No, it's a good thing. We'll dive into questions now. We put Q&A up once a week on the Cook Bros account, and then I'll put it up on Powderbound Adventures. Brent's going to pull those up right now that you guys asked. On Powderbound Adventures, I had one account ask a question. It was if we were interested in doing business with them for like making shirts and monosuits and stuff like that. I think it was a Pakistan company. So if you're listening, currently no. We have everything that we need. So thank you for the offer, but no. Nicely.
Well, at least you answered it. Okay. The first question, can we come ride with you? Okay, so yeah, there's multiple ways to come ride with us. Normally, we have a group ride that we do where anyone and everyone are welcome to come out. Doesn't matter your ability, your age, where you're from. It's completely free, and we just go out and ride and have a good time. That is in talks this year. We don't know if we're going to do that this year, to be quite honest.
It's not looking good that we do it the same way that we did like the last 2 years as just this group ride here locally.
Yeah.
So if you guys have an idea, tell us. Message Powderbound Adventures, message Cook Bros, and tell us what your idea is of what you would like to see from that. We're kind of interested in what you all have to hear, and then we'll collectively put together something that works for more people. We'd like a wider group of the audience to be able to do that with us and enjoy it.
Maybe do a location, something like that.
Maybe do a location. Also might try to loop in some way to raise awareness for something for it, like make the best of the event.
The problem is, being completely honest, that we run into is Forest Service people and stuff like that. I didn't really think it would be a big deal. We're not getting paid. We're just out as, friends and everything. But at least on mine, I'm not speaking for his end. His end is different. But you know, with the Instagram page, there's people locally that follow that have insights with that, and it kind of turns into a little bit of a mess, so to speak. And so, yeah, we've ran into problems with that. So just follow us on our socials, and we'll be talking about that. The other way, and the for sure way that you can come ride with us, or I guess with AJ and Marcus, is you can book a trip through Powderbound Adventures.
Yep.
You will become a better rider when you leave.
Yes. And yeah, so that would be a way to come ride with me and Marcus. And I'd be lying if I said Brent didn't occasionally show up. So
yeah,
BC might be there. You never know.
Yeah, you have to.
There's always an option.
Special request in
if
your
you
comments.
want a special request there, it might come at a cost because BC is not cheap at giving ski poles.
Not cheap. 8 cents a ski pole. No question. Just wanted to thank you for the awesome hat I got off your website. We appreciate it. Thank you for the support.
Yes, thank
you. It means
you.
a lot. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Tag us in a post so we can see it.
Yeah, show us what hat you got.
Yep. Okay. This is kind of an interesting one. We should probably cover some more gear stuff going into this season.
Yep.
Battery powered AVI bag or canister, which one and why? This is kind of a debate. And I feel like when batteries came, okay, I'll tell you the debate before I say that. The debate is if you get into a very, very bad situation, you are reliant on a pull cord, okay, and your AVI bag has to go off to increase your chances of survival. Is your battery charged?
Yeah.
That's the biggest one. With a can, you hook it up,
You
do
see
it
the
correctly,
pressure.
you see the pressure, and you forget about it.
Yep.
The battery, well, you can speak on this. How many times do you have to charge it? Or do you charge it every time?
We charge ours, so we leave our batteries on all the time, day, night. We just have them on. We charge ours every 2 weeks. So we are riding generally, every day or 5 days a week, and we charge all of our packs every 2 weeks. So for your normal rider, that means if you're riding every weekend, then yeah, you should probably charge it before every weekend or every other weekend at least. But for what we do, I love the battery because as a business, we get people that end up pulling them on the handlebars or rolling a sled over or falling off and pull it. And with canister, there's an expense to getting it filled, making sure that it stays in its 2 week period and everything. There's a whole thing to that for a safety standpoint that we have to document. The electric, it's just got to be charged. It's one of those things we check that it's on and has, charge every day, but it's not something that we have to be like, oh shoot, we got to get a canister filled or anything like that. So the battery has been game changer for us as a business. And another thing that I truly, truly like about the battery style is normally if you're fully charged going into the day, you get at minimum 3 pulls. So therefore, I'm up pulling this tree line, a tree branch snags my pack, pulls it once, I can repack it. I still have battery and I'm good for another 2 times or at least 1 time for that day. I don't have to go down the mountain and my day's not over.
Right.
So
I run a canister right now. It's not necessarily because I'm against battery. It's just the vest that I like is a canister. What are your thoughts on this? And I don't know if it's necessarily the bag or the canister. Which one do you think's lighter? You would think a battery would be heavier.
You would think that the battery one is heavier.
But I feel like but maybe it's just the pack because mine's bigger with a vest on.
You got a lot more stuff there in the vest. Yeah. I don't know which one's lighter.
Yeah.
Another benefit to the battery one is if you're flying to Revelstoke or flying out to Colorado to ride with us and you have your own pack, you can fly with the battery packs. You can't fly with the canister packs.
Really?
I'm pretty sure you can't have that canister with you.
Yeah, that probably makes
Maybe fact check me on that. Maybe you guys know something I don't, but for some reason there's something in my head saying you can't fly with the canister pack.
Yeah. Hopefully you never have to use it, but yeah, I don't think when they first came out, a lot of people were so against the batteries, but I feel like that stigma's kind of gone.
They do really good now.
But the thing you have
better.
to think about is you have to be smart and know yourself. If you're that guy that's not going to check his battery the entire season, just do a canister.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
If you're like AJ and Marcus and I, where we come in our trailer and we hook all of our stuff up every night,
you're charging your radio anyway, so it's nothing for me to
power
plug
in the
that
trailer.
in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's not a big deal.
Easy.
Yeah.
You also, like, if you're someone like my dad that rides, occasionally, he has a battery pack, and when he goes riding, he turns it on. When he's home, he turns it off. So then when next time he wants to go riding, he just turns it on and it's still charged.
Yeah. What are the Cook Bros riding this season and why? What are you riding this season?
I have a 26 Summit X on the way, and then turbo, and then the wife has a 850 NA on the way that I'm going to build into a lightweight sled, and I'll throw a leg over it often.
4 times a week. She'll throw a leg over it once all year.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good sled for her.
Shout out to Erin for playing the game with AJ.
Yeah. She's a good wife. She's a good girl.
Dude, I scratch my head trying to answer this question that you submitted every single day.
BC's struggling.
I'll tell you what my ideal setup would be right now. And then I'll tell you probably what's going to end up happening. What I would like is a Lynx would be cool. Just something different to mess around on. But realistically, a 9R 146 that's kind of lightweighted out and then kind of pepped up on something. I was talking to Eric, and he said that he has something to pepper up a 9R. So that's what I would like. And then what I would do if I did that was put a 165 skid and track, which I already have, under what is now my 146 turbo, and then keep the orange and blue sled a 155. But I need a new track on that. But that's really expensive. Probably what I'll do is keep the exact setup that I have, and possibly, if the winter is where I want it to be, put a 65 under the 46. Because I think this year I'm going back to my ways of riding a 155 90% of the time.
Yeah. Yep. It's
I just like
so
it.
good. It's so good.
It's so good. And especially boosted, you have all the play, but it's still not like it is a ridiculous amount, but it's not unusable.
It's rideable.
It's rideable.
Very rideable.
And that's the thing, dude. It's like I've had a lot of conversations with a couple buddies, and Skeeter's one of them. It's like everyone wants to go up and up and up and up and up in power, but there becomes a line, in my opinion, where it's like you're just not living up to your potential because it's too much power.
Yeah.
And I think the better and better you get, just like anything, the more and more that you can handle.
You can use it.
Like if we put you in an F1 car and went around a track,
it'd be awful.
you would get a worse time than if we put you in like a stock Chevy Camaro or Corvette.
And drive the wheels off of that thing.
Yeah, because you would probably wreck the F1 car.
Yeah,
it's so much.
It's too much.
And so that's kind of the way I look at it. But regardless, there'll be 850 Polaris boosts with Vogue tunes. Yep. Dude, I don't know. I would really like to do a 9R 146 to just be like that lightweight kind of jump, fun, shitty snow conditions sled.
You need a wife sled.
I need a wife sled. But the problem is when you get to that point is, dude, it's like you have $100,000 in depreciating assets.
Yes.
It's like,
let's just touch on the other fellas real quick. I know Marcus is getting a 26 Summit X, same as me.
dude, I really thought he was going to go Polaris. I really thought he was going to go Polaris.
Well, let's just put it out there, and I'll let Marcus speak for himself. But he's currently shopping
in the market.
We'll see what he's in the market for. I do know a Polaris has came across my phone, so we'll see if it happens or not. And then Brad, he's going to stick with his 25 Boost 325 155, right?
Yeah. While we're talking about that, yeah, Brad is going to stick with that. Hopefully he fixes the front end. Anyway,
I'll fix Brad's front end so it looks normal.
I'll tell you this. If you are like an intermediate rider and you have the budget to do it, and I could have one sled, that's what it would be. Exactly his setup.
Yep.
155, 325, chaos boost.
It's a baller sled.
That thing does it all really well. And then I'd put Fox on it, have the lockout, you're good to go.
Rip.
But dude, I remember coming from like
you'd buy that sled and you'd put $5,000 into it with a Vogue tune and Fox shocks.
Dude,
and it'd be perfect.
I called AJ the other day and I'm like, yeah, it'd be my sled pretty much. Just minus the 325 track. Dude, I call you the other day and I'm like, dude, I think I want to make a move on a 9R. I'm like, it wouldn't be a big build. It'd just be a simple build that I just sell after a year.
Yep.
You're like, oh, what would you do to it? I'm like, well, I'd just do a skins hood, Fox shocks, some lightweight stuff, some clutching, a Seco seat cover,
handlebars,
and like that's it. And you're like, dude, that's a $25,000 build.
Yeah, you just blew it out. You just blew your whole build out.
I'm like, that's very true.
And there you're depreciating $10,000 again.
Yep.
Love it.
Come on, Polaris, release a 9R boost.
Yeah.
I needed an excuse to spend money.
Yeah, you just need something exciting to blow your money on. Yeah. Make you feel a little less about it.
The problem is I don't want to sell that 146. That's the problem.
Yeah.
This is our daily conversation, by the way.
Yeah, every day, actually.
Every day. Okay. Favorite gear, snow goggles, helmets, coats, suits, boots, base layer, AVI pack, etc. Let's do a gear.
We're going to do a gear one. Keep in touch with the podcast. We'll just break that all down. We'll give you a quick answer. I'm a climb guy. I really love the climb mono suit, climb boots. I've been a huge fan of the Fly Formula helmet. I love the safety features of it. I love the whole helmet itself. I'm looking to go to a climb helmet this year just to be head to toe. That way, climb goggles are good. I'm also a big fan of the Tempest goggles for heated.
You didn't wear those as much as I thought you would last year.
They're a little heavy in the front, so it kind of like pulls your face down. So I only wear them when I need them. I don't wear them as much as I thought I would. I love a good standard goggle. I just love it.
I do not.
So yeah, that's kind of my quick breakdown. But we will break down base layers, the whole 9 yards of our clothing setup.
Yeah. So I run all 509 stuff from head to toe. So I'll just go down the list of what you said. Snow goggles. My number one thing for gear is heated goggles.
Yeah.
I cannot get normal goggles to stay unfogged and uniced. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I never have been. I'm that idiot that wears his helmet on the top of his head half the day, filming and everything. I just like heated goggles. So I run the Sinister X7 Ignites for goggles. Helmets, I run the Altitude 2.0 carbon helmet. Coats and suit, I'll wear... I'm not a monosuit guy. I'm a jacket and pant guy. So I'll run like a Ether bib from 509 and then a Stoke coat. That's normally my go-to, but I kind of switch it up. Boots, the Velo Raid boots, or if it's super cold, I'll wear a climb boot.
Oh, really?
Because they're the only ones that make something with a really thick insulation.
Yeah. Good. Yeah.
But most of the time I'll run 509 boots. Base layers. Depends if I'm wearing knee braces or knee pads or not. If I'm not, I just wear sweats. If I am, I'll wear... it's been a while.
I wear a heavyweight base layer, long john shirt.
Merino wool?
Not merino, just heavyweight, like polyester. And
Gosh, what?
I always wear a like puffer coat on top of that as my insulation. I can take the puffer coat off, but I use that as my insulation.
Yeah, I do not wear a puffer coat. I'll sweat too much. Early season trail rides and stuff, I will.
Yeah.
My base layer, I think, just a heavy, or probably a midweight base layer, 509s or whatever. And then
I run a mixture of base layer.
Yeah.
I've got hunting base layer. I got snowmobile base layer. I just run it all.
Dude, what do I run on my top? Like 509 has a merino wool hoodie.
You run that Ignite like
Oh yeah, an Ignite
heated
base layer.
Yeah, you like a heated base layer because
Yeah.
he runs camera a lot, so he's standing there cold. So a heated
Flip
base layer.
on the heater.
Yep.
Yeah, I forgot about that. AVI packs. I run a Highmark charger vest, so I don't have to wear like a like a Kevlar protected vest or a under my coat. Mine is just a full zip up vest that has the pads and the Avalanche thing. So Highmark charger vest. And you run the Climb.
I run the Climb, the electric one. I think it's like the Aspect or something like that. But yeah, the airbag Climb bag.
Yeah.
With the padding in the front. I like the one with the padding in the front. They have the one with just the straps, but I like the chest protector padding.
Yeah.
Good place to mount radio and stuff.
And I like having pads.
Yep. Same.
Yeah, and sometimes like if we're going for a jump dare, whatever, I'll wear a 509. They have a padded short that I'll wear that I like.
Yep.
Okay, next question. What's the best way to plan for and begin riding in locations you are unfamiliar with? This is an overlooked topic.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I'll tell you what, I went through this.
From a safety standpoint
alone. Yeah, it really is. I think there's a couple ways. One, the better you get, the more confident you are going into any situation.
Yes. Yep.
But the other thing that you can do, if you're really worried about it, get an app like Onyx Backcountry and put it in 3D mode and kind of look at the area you're familiar with and see if the mountains look at the right steepness. Then when they do, because you can toggle that switch.
Yep.
And make them look real steep or real 2D basically.
And what you can do is you can run Onyx off-road, which here we're going to give Onyx a bunch. And you can turn on the Avalanche settings, and it gives you the slope in a shading color. It shades the slope.
Yep.
And it tells you like, hey, red is, AVI terrain. So then like, oh, this whole area is AVI terrain. We probably shouldn't be riding in there or anything like that. So definitely that's a quick way to see it. But we're going to go into our hunting and eScout. Like literally, if you're going to a new area, eScout using these online maps and find drainages, find bowls, find, meadows, stuff like that.
The other thing is always be with multiple people.
Yeah.
Because I've gotten into situations where none of us were very good back in the day, but we had enough muscle to get out of a sticky situation. Yep. And mentally, you're better off to be stuck in a bad position with your buddies than you are by yourself.
Yeah. A group.
Radios, dude. Yes. We got to have radios. There's all kinds of safety stuff. Radios, buddies, maps, GPS communicator. But the other, I'll say this. Take it slow and just think about this. There's trails on mountains for a reason.
Yep.
You're not going to, unless there's something that really weird happened, like a washout or something, you're not going to be riding a trail and a cliff's right there.
Yep.
Most of the time. When you're riding backcountry, you're not on a trail. You might be where no man's ever touched.
Yep.
So you can get into a lot of trouble really fast. But the biggest thing, and we've talked about this, in my opinion, if you're not confident, always go uphill.
Uphill. Always ride above the trail. You can always roll yourself back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you can walk back to the trail or anything like that.
So many people, dude. How many times have we been up in our local spot and we get up there and there's 4 people in the bottom of some drainage that they can't get out. So it's like we have to get them out.
Yep.
And they got one guy that went down in there and got stuck.
So then another goes in there.
So the other guy, that guy gets stuck.
Yep.
The other guy.
Then it's a chain effect. They're all down there.
Which I've been in that position when I started mountain riding.
Yeah. But if you are going to rely upon like having your phone, make sure you have a charger with you because that is your lifeline to get in and out of there. So make sure you can charge it. The cold sucks the battery out of your phone. So if you're relying upon it, make sure you can charge your phone and get back out of there.
Yeah. This is another quick thing that I'll say. A lot of people are running Garmin InReaches, and we've kind of talked about that before. There's the Garmin InReach where it's a satellite messenger that you basically can call SOS. I'm not really sure, I don't have it, but you can call SOS. It's real small. A lot of people use that. And then they basically what they're doing to run Messenger and text and all that, they're running it off their phone.
Yep.
great plan, but there again, your phone has to have battery.
Yep.
And I think to text.
Correct.
I don't think to do SOS. But you don't want to have to
You don't want to have to hit SOS because you might even be there for a while before search and rescue can get to you.
Yeah.
So yeah, your first goal is to get that text out, right?
Yeah. So, but that's the thing with the actual. I can't remember what it's called.
It's the Garmin InReach Mini is
the small one, and then the one that I have, I charge it once a season.
Yep, and you can actually type on it.
You can actually type on it. You can get weather reports. You can get maps. You can get everything like that. And the subscription service, I'll tell you, it's worth it. But with going back to that question, I feel that, or I did feel that. I don't feel it now. I do to some extent because you're more on edge.
Yeah.
When you're in your home riding area, you know where the cliffs are and what your sled will do if you're, how steep, where the rocks are, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I just take it slow.
Take it slow. That's the best way.
Get a good group. Do you tilt your head to eat a hard shell taco or do you tilt a taco?
That's a great question. I'm a head tilt to eat taco.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
You like angle your head like this?
Absolutely. Yep. Keep the taco level, keep the toppings in it nice, and you just tilt it. And
I'm going to be honest, I'm not a big taco guy myself. I don't like ground beef with taco seasoning on it, but
can't tell you the last time I ate a taco, but
yeah, I think I'm a head tilt guy.
Great question.
Yeah, love that question. Shout out for that question. What's in your Avalanche backpack?
Not much.
Yeah.
I keep my backpack as light as possible. I mean, it's the bare minimum. I think I have the necessities. So obviously Avalanche backpack, you're supposed to have your probe, your shovel, and your radio on it. And then your beacon is supposed to be on your body somewhere. So beacon's on body, but all that is in the backpack. So occasionally I'll keep a saw in my backpack. And then I think I have like a strap or something like that in my backpack just for strapping stuff down. Try to keep it as light as possible though. Occasionally I think I have a pair of goggles in there, an extra pair of goggles, just quick grab if I need to. Usually it's my clear lens goggles, so I don't touch them in that backpack ever. If I'm in my backpack, you're in shit situation essentially.
Yeah. So in my backpack, I have shovel on the outside, probe, saw, the canister, obviously, and then my Garmin InReach, and normally another pair of gloves, and then the radio on the outside.
Kind of on that, I'm going to, since we're on that and you said Garmin InReach again, just so everybody knows, I'm going to put it out there. iPhone 14 and newer, you can send satellite messages off of them. So if you're in that dire need, oh man, I don't want to buy an InReach or anything like that. I like having both. I like having that
100%.
backup. But if you don't have that, you don't have the money to do that, iPhone 14 and newer, you can send satellite messages out and get SOS out. Say you don't have an iPhone 14 or newer, you can still do the SOS. So it's a good thing to know if you are ever lost in the backcountry. You can hit that SOS and it's going to ping out satellite and authorities can get to you. So
yeah.
Definitely something to remember if you're in that.
Yeah. I like both. I think if
both.
you're spending money on your snowmobile and you drive ride a nice snowmobile and all that, you need to have the safety stuff.
If you can afford the snowmobile, you can afford the safety stuff. You should have that first.
Yep. With sleds being so advanced already, do you see any new chassis dropping soon?
The way the snowmobile market is currently, I do not. Selfishly, I wish they would. As a consumer, yes. As a manufacturer, they need to do something because they're a manufacturer. They need to be manufacturing new, etc. But with their current sales, I don't expect a new chassis anytime soon. When I say anytime soon, I think they're in development. I just don't see it going to production. I think it might take a little longer than we have seen in the last few years.
Yeah. I think we're going to see more changes on the snowmobile that's not what I would consider a full chassis change.
Yeah, refinement.
I think the Polaris is going to come out with 9R boost. It would be a perfect time for them to come out with a new chassis.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they will. Obviously, I'm not Polaris, but I think that you're going to see, like, it would not shock me if Ski-Doo went and did some kind of 900.
Yeah. They're going to need
year.
some sort of NA to keep up with the 9R.
Yeah, and then, Polaris did the 9R boost. They made more and more small changes, maybe hood changes, but, like, going to a completely different new chassis, I don't see it in the next year. But there again, I could be wrong.
Yep.
Comparisons between a tuned boost versus a 900 boost. Tuning company comps. I think we're talking Skidoos or Polaris.
Polaris, definitely Polaris. Okay, so we're talking an 850 tuned versus a 900 boost.
Yeah.
850's proven. The 900s, there's still a lot to be learned. I haven't personally rode
I haven't either.
the 900 to give a fair assessment of if it's worth it or not. My personal opinion without riding one is it's too much hype. I don't think that 98% of the population needs a 900 boost. If you want to be the cool guy with a 900 boost, great, good for you. You got the money, whatever, do it. I'm kind of more of a functionality guy. I'd rather ride the 850 where the 850 boost is too much for me. So
yeah,
it's more than enough, and I don't have a problem with it. The 9 boost I think is going to be a bit too much for most people.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I've heard about it, talking with some good sources. The 900 boost, the first year that they did it and they started working on it, speaking from Polaris, obviously, it wasn't very impressive from what I've heard. Last year, I've heard they've started to get things where it's pretty impressive. Obviously, the point is getting more low and mid-range, I would say.
Yeah, the goal is to get it a little better.
And it sounds like they have done that.
They struggled in that department, though.
Yeah, for me, it's just the money. Like, do I really need more power for that much money? Maybe I'll get a wild itch and do it this year. I don't know. I would like to ride one. When it comes to, the second part of your question, tuning company comps, I'm a diehard Vote guy. I've heard horror stories about other tuning companies, and I'm not just blowing smoke. I've ran his stuff since 2018 or 2019, and it works flawlessly. So
there's 2 tuning companies out there for snowmobiles that I would use, and there's not another one other than that I wouldn't. Voke, Speedworks. They both have customer service. They both have good production on their tunes. They actually have people on the snow testing their tunes in the mountains. Those are the 2 big ones.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put another one in. I wouldn't trust another one. Those are the only ones I would trust.
Yeah, the Vogue stuff, I mean, especially speaking for us, he validates. I mean, Eric is a very smart guy when it comes to this, but then he validates all this stuff at elevation, 5 days a week, working on all that stuff. So it's very proven. And then, like AJ said, it's a big deal having, customer support when you're doing that stuff, and just to point you in the right direction.
A big part for Vogue for us too is he's literally in our backyard.
Yeah.
So it's like a no-brainer almost.
Yeah. And his stuff works.
Yeah.
Do you ever like to hop on an early 2000 sled and just rip around like the old days? Dude, there's nothing better than putting a heater in your mouth, jumping on your old Y2K sled and just letting her eat.
We had a lot of fun last winter.
Yeah,
we had a lot of fun. We had some fun 2000 sleds, and we had a blast. I mean, it's fun to do. Sad to say we did it once or twice last winter, and that's all. It's hard to find the time to do it.
And to get them to run consistently.
Yeah, that's a bear.
Yeah.
But we had a blast doing it. Dude, I'd do it again.
I'd love to throw a heater in, especially early season.
Yeah.
We're going to have to go out on the market, and we might be in the market for some turds there because Our other one's kind of tied up.
Take the old mini truck out and buy some shit.
Yeah. To go on the hill lunch. You take this one.
Batterbound Adventures panini. There's nothing better. A hot sandwich cooked on the muffler of a snowmobile. Oh, we've got some great options. We got Philly cheesesteak. We got Reuben. We got chicken bacon. We've got buffalo chicken.
Buffalo chicken is absolute money.
Yeah, so we got some bangers that we make, and there's nothing better than that.
No, that's true.
There's nothing better than that. A hot sandwich on the mountain, melted cheese and sauce. Ugh.
So when AJ feels bad enough for me for whatever reason, he'll give me a panini. Best lunch. But when I go by myself, normally it's like half a stick of frozen jerky and then I eat snow because I don't have any water.
He never takes water, so he's always eating snow. You'll see this guy just Yetiing snow all day.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Hot cheese. Dude, it's so funny. Like some of these riders are, they talk about health and everything. And me and Skeeter were talking. It's like, dude, for lunch, you had flaming hot Cheetos, a Red Bull, and a cigarette.
Dialed. Absolutely dialed.
It's absolutely dialed. What's a good upgrade for Gen 4 Skidoos? We just did a full pod on that last pod.
We did it on Gen 5s.
Oh, sorry.
Unfortunately. Gen 4.
Okay. That's my bad.
Gen 4.
Marcus has some experience with that.
I was going to say, we might have to reach back out to you because I'd be lying if I gave you anything. I was not a fan of the Gen 4 chassis. I did not ride the Gen 4 chassis. Marcus did. I can get some feedback from Marcus and get that to Brent to message you some information. So sorry, I don't have a lot of experience.
Yeah. I mean, the best rider out of us all, my dad, he drives a Gen 4 Skidoos.
And he makes it look good.
Yeah, and his big thing is the leg room of the snowmobile.
Good leg room, good cigar storage.
Yep.
Everything.
Good 14-inch bar riser stock from the factory.
Ape hangers.
Yeah.
No helmet.
Nice
cruising down the road.
3-pound boost when he's tipped over and I can just wow.
Yeah, when he's laying on his side wide open.
Yeah. Okay, last question. Advice for a young rider trying to make it.
Trying to make it. As in, I'm going to guess that you're wanting to be a sponsored athlete, professional backcountry rider or something like that.
Yeah, or maybe just social media.
Or social media. One, social media is your friend. Post. I think we went over this in other podcasts, but your number one thing you can do is post. If you aren't posting, you are not gaining any traction. Social media is the new age way, and you have to have a presence on there, and you have to not be afraid to put yourself out there. You will have hate when you start. You'll have hate till the end.
Yeah, I was going to say it's not.
It never ends, actually. You got to be okay with that. Do it for yourself. Don't do it for anything else.
Yeah.
If you enjoy it and you enjoy making the content, you enjoy the writing, you enjoy all aspects of that, follow that dream. If you don't have the passion for it and you're trying to force something, it's not going to go well. And people see through that on social media. They will look right through it. And at the end of the day, that's probably the only way to make it anymore. Whether you're racing, whether you're backcountry, whatever, you have to have a social media presence. And you got to be able to sell something. It always comes to sales. Me as a business owner, you also, you're not going to sponsor something if there's no value for you.
Yeah.
So when you are looking for that, always think, what's the value I bring to the table, no matter what it is, whether it's a sponsorship or just your life, anything. If you can bring value to it, then it's worth doing.
Yeah. I think the biggest advice I could give is if you are not in it for the long haul, you shouldn't start. Like,
it is years.
Like it takes, like, unless you were just like a phenomenal at whatever you do, whether it's snowmobiling, dirt biking, whatever, like if you're that good at it, you're set. But it's like for the majority of people that aren't on that level, you know, like Caleb Kosturki, the guy can just flat out do things on a snowmobile that others can't. But here's the other thing. He's grinded his rear off for how many years? And then finally, when he was arguably the number one rider in the world, still didn't have a factory ride.
Yes.
And then finally through grinding and all this stuff, then he got a factory ride. Now he's blowing up, or he's blown up, and he posts consistently. He's working his tail off. Like, that's what it takes. And it doesn't come overnight. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, so many people start Instagram pages for 3 months and they quit because they don't have any followers. And it's like, you did it for 3 months. I mean, what do you expect? Like, these people that you're comparing yourself to have been doing it for years and years and years, and they're passionate about it, and they love to do the riding, like AJ said, and they love to film, they love to do the content. It's not work for them. It's pure passion. Because if you're not in the snowmobile industry for passion, get out. Yeah,
because honestly, all these guys that you look at the top, Kosturki, Brandt, Matt Ince, Turcotte, Dan Adams, the staple names, I'm missing some, sorry to the ones out there, probably 10 years minimum into what they've done. I can speak from Powderbound's experience. We're year 3, and for a business, you expect year 3 to 5 to be like, yeah, we're going to make it or not. The snowmobile industry seems to be about a 10-year.
Yeah.
It's a long haul. You got to have the passion for it, the love for it. And yeah, all those guys, they have many, many years into making what they are.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I got a DM from a guy that he was asking how to get followers. It's like, you click on his profile, he's got like, 3-4 posts.
There's your problem right there.
It's like, dude, number one, you haven't had the reps to get good at content yet. Not saying I'm the best, but you have to have reps to get good at the content and figure out what works for you. But the other thing too is, like, how do you expect like 4 posts to like everyone hit, mega viral?
Yeah.
When they're like iPhone clips of you like wheeling in a cornfield, and for you to just wake up and there'd be a ton of followers. It's like, it takes so much time. And that's like, dude, this is like weird to say. I've been doing social media long enough where I've been doing it for 5 years, more serious for like 3, but like 5 total. I've been on the platform long enough to see people come and go.
Yeah.
Like, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's like, I've seen guys that like, they're going so hard and they're gaining followers, and it's like they're doing so good. And then they plateau for a year, which happens.
Yep.
And they kind of like, then they just quit.
Lose
and
the
it's
passion.
Like, I remember looking at those people, dude, I'll never forget this. Like, looking at these people being, dude, if I just had that many followers, I feel like we could get sponsored and we could like make a name for ourselves in the snowmobile industry. And it's like, dude, we're, 10 times past that, or 100 times past that in some cases. It still doesn't feel like we have any followers, but
how's your sponsorships going?
Yeah. Better. But like, the point is they had a huge leg up, but it was the consistent weekly, daily, hourly thinking about it and grinding that got where, right now we're over 35,000 followers, which is not a million or whatever. It's not, for the snowmobile industry, it's decent, but it took a long time, a lot of work, a lot of late nights.
You learn so in that 5 years, and I think you've been doing it longer than that. Like, you've been doing it longer than that. You've been taking it seriously for that long, I feel like. But you learn so much through the reps that it's insane. Like, the more you post, the more you will shoot content for a whole winter, and then you'll be editing through the summer and you'll be like, holy shit, this is where I needed to do, but you have no content. It's so hard because it's such a seasonal sport that it's like, I know this is what works, but I don't have any of that content. So then it puts you behind 6 months because you're waiting to get new content to do it that way. And then you do it that way, and then the shift changes. So it's constantly evolving, and it's you constantly learning, and it's just reps, literally reps to learn and know how to work, and you get better through it. Like, yeah, it's fine if you start iPhone clips and you start posting. You learn hey, I need to be consistent. Hey, this is what people like. Okay, now I might move to a camera. Okay, now I have better quality. Now, okay, I'm editing on a laptop, not on my phone on CapCut. Like, you build your skills as you build them, right?
Yeah, or if maybe you're just a guy that likes to goof around and your iPhone is perfect.
Yeah,
absolutely. Just depending on what you think your niche is on Instagram or whatever social platform.
Or what your goal is.
Yeah. And that's really the thing. Like for me, it was, I just did it for fun. And then it was like, I really got passionate about the video side. That's what changed for me. It was like the snowmobile passion was always there. But for me, the video side started becoming more and more and more enjoyable for me. So then that's why I was like, oh, I want a camera. I did it all, I feel like, for the right reasons. It was purely out of passion. Yeah. And it wasn't like my goal is to get sponsored by Polaris in 5 years. And if I don't do that, then I'm going to, quit. For me, it's just I like doing it and I like videos. And for me, in reality, it's a hobby. Yeah. I mean, because I have a 6-day-a-week job. I don't post as much, but I just like doing it. So that's why I've been able to stick it out this many years. And dude, I have screenshots of 300 followers. Yes.
Heck yeah.
Shout out to my 300 followers. Thank you guys. Yeah. And then I hit 1,000 like a year later, and I'm like, or maybe 2 years, probably 2 years later.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, I am set for life.
Yeah, we're doing the thing. Yeah.
And then it was like, 2 more years, 5,000. Then had a post go viral at 5,000, hit 10,000. Yeah. Then I figured out, ooh, we can do this. Then hit 15. And then, now it's like, I don't even know what I'm at right now. But it's just crazy to think like it's just time, 35.2.
Yep.
So, for me, I never thought I'd be there.
Even this podcast, we're going into year 3 of doing this.
This will be our 3rd winter.
Yeah, our 3rd winter doing this. We've never made $1 from this podcast. We've put a lot of dollars into this podcast.
Yeah.
And we're coming up on 100, or we might be over 100 now. I definitely quit counting.
Oh gosh.
We're right around 100 though. And we've done this 100 times. We've sat down here 100 times. You've edited 100 times.
Yeah.
And look at what we've learned where we are going into year 3. And also we're 3 years into this, and we don't make money from this.
Yeah.
We do it for the passion. Well, the passion of this podcast is what carries it. Bringing it to you guys is what does it. Yeah. And we love doing it. We just love sitting here talking. And
because we love sleds.
Yeah, we just love it. So
But there again, dude, it's like you never know what's going to hold in 5-10 years.
Well, that's just it. We're holding on to the glory of hey, maybe we will be something someday.
But we still have full-time jobs, and we just kind of, in reality, we kind of take it as it's mainly a passion for us.
Yeah, it's a passion project.
It's a hobby.
It's a hobby.
It's not like if we don't make this into Rogan in 5 years, we're going to be living in the ditch.
If you're a sponsor looking to sponsor a podcast, emails are open.
Yeah. We don't have emails yet. We'll get emails.
We'll get an email set up for Let's Assess. But, we better close it out there. We've rambled on long enough for you guys. Hopefully Q&A gave you guys some insight to all those questions. Check the social medias for it again. Gen 4 guy, we will get Marcus to get some answers for you. And thank you for following along. If you've made it to this point, you are awesome. If you comment on the podcast, definitely see if it comes up to, I think it's a super like or something like that. Or push it. Do that. It helps us as a small creator, or liking, commenting. It all helps. So we like hearing from you guys. And till next time.
Let her eat.
See ya.